The Cavs' need for perimeter spacing within the starting unit, specifically out of the front court, was well known after heading into the 2023-24 offseason period, especially after Cleveland's abysmal showing in the playoffs. They addressed that need by acquiring sharpshooting wing Max Strus from the Miami Heat in a 3-team deal that sent out fan favorites Cedi Osman and Lamar Stevens. So far, so good, as Strus has been as good as advertised and then some, putting up averages of 18.7 points, 9.3 rebounds, and 4 assists while knocking down over 39.4% of his 3-point attempts. His overall field goal percentage, which is currently standing at 37.3% as of recording this, looks bad on the surface, but when you consider that a staggering 11 of his 17 total field goal attempts per game are being taken from long range, it really puts things into perspective. This man can shoot the damn basketball, but you guys already knew that. The crazy thing is, it's not just his ability to shoot that has been on display. With that being said, let's take a look at how his addition is already paying off for the Cavaliers. First things first, Strus has provided much needed perimeter spacing to a lineup that desperately needed it. He made his presence well known in the Cavs season opener against the Brooklyn Nets by doing a bit of everything out there, including knocking down 7 of his 13 total attempts from distance in his Cavalier debut, a new franchise record. The number definitely sticks out, but what's perhaps more important is just how he was able to do so and what it has done for others. Strus excels at shooting on the move. He is constantly in motion, navigating around the floor, using off-ball screen actions to set him up for fairly contested looks.
Mitchell to Strus. He's smoking hot.
Spotting up for kickouts from the drivers.
Strus are on the floor to open this fourth. Mitchell winds his way inside. Strus for 3. He knocks it down.
Yes, that's what they've been waiting for.
Or pulling up in transition.
He tried to spin. Mitchell picks his pocket. Cavs on the move. Strus keeps on firing. It's a triple.
He can legitimately do it all as a shooter and rather confidently. He isn't one bit gun shy and will pull the trigger if he feels he can make the shot. Just look at how involved he is on this possession. Strus spots Darius Garland cutting to the basket and he screens for him. Evan Mobley then finds Strus in the middle of the paint surrounded by defenders. He responds by moving the ball back out to Isaac Okoro on the perimeter, who throws it right back to him for a contested pull-up jumper, which he actually makes.
Strus pulls the trigger and nails it from the outside.
You can tell just how much the defense respects his ability to knock down the 3-ball simply by watching this play in which Mikal Bridges, perhaps Brooklyn's best perimeter defender and one of the game's better two-way wings, eyes Strus damn near the entire possession. Honestly, the biggest takeaway in regards to his shooting isn't even how well he's shooting it. It's how much gravity he has managed to generate and how much of this has opened the floor for others. As of recording this video, 5.7 of his 11 total 3-points attempted have been considered tightly contested. That's well over half, and what's even better is that despite garnering the defense's attention, Strus is still knocking down 35.3% of them. The defense is rightly concerned with his ability to knock this type of shot down, and it's already paying off for the Cavs. I mean, look at how wide open the paint is on this possession. That's a far cry from what we witnessed for much of last year. 9.7 of his total 3-pointers attempted per game are of the catch and shoot variety, which he is knocking down a blistering 44.8% of. He is also tops in the league at the moment in regards to spot up shooting, knocking down 3 field goal attempts per game as a spot up shooter. Now, I must admit, I was not prepared to see Strus out there averaging over 9.3 boards per game through 3 contests. I just wasn't. Dude is currently in the top 30 in the league at the moment and is second on the team to Evan Mobley, who's snagging 11.7 per game. Now, nearly all of these are of the defensive variety and some have been purely opportunistic, but make no mistake, he is out there hustling for loose boards. Peep this one, his first rebound of the season in which he is keeping track of his man and knows just how and when to position himself for a proper box out. Or this one in which he toes the line between keeping his defensive assignment honest and tracking the ball down. He crashes the defensive glass and ends up with the basketball ending a possession for Brooklyn. Other times, it's a combination of all of these things. He's boxing out, keeping his eye on the ball handler, and ends up with the ball after putting himself in a good position to receive it after it bounces around a few times. Proper positioning and boxing out are 2 fundamentals of the game, and when you can do both at an above average level, good things tend to happen. Watch as Strus provides help defense on Mikal Bridges' drive to the paint, which results in Bridges dishing it back out to Nicholas Claxton, who attempts a contested shot over Evan Mobley. Strus immediately flies over to Ben Simmons and waits the possible miss and boxes out. His efforts are rewarded by receiving the ball. It's this crashing of the boards that just didn't feel present out of the starting small forward position last season. I mean, Strus literally has more double-digit rebound games than Isaac Okoro or Caris LeVert had combined last season. One of the biggest surprises thus far from him has been how he's managed to hold up on the defensive end. It's no secret that the Cavs, when healthy, run one of the smaller starting backcourts in the league, and adding an undersized wing at the 3 into that unit wasn't going to quell any reservations heading into the 2023-24 season. It's a small sample size, but so far, Strus has spent the bulk of his time defending guards, roughly 76.2% of his minutes to be exact, to which he's held them to 33.3% from the field, including 3 of 14 from distance. He has held up rather nicely. Despite playing small forward, he's only matched up defensively with forwards for about 15.4% of his minutes, holding them to 50% from the floor. He will get beat on that in his fair share of times, but defensive possessions like this one against Bruce Brown give me hope that he won't be as much of a liability as some thought he would. Notice how well he is able to stay in front of his man to force a tough shot. Now in this one, we see Strus' ability to execute a proper closeout without fouling the shooter. All in all, I've generally been impressed by his effort on that end, and I hope that continues, especially once the Cavs get their entire gang back out there and healthy. Additionally, Strus appears to be a better passer than I initially gave him credit for. It's not necessarily playmaking, but rather his ability to make the extra pass and set up his teammates for good looks that is a welcome sight.
Plays through Mobley. Strus to the corner. LeVert's in the ball game, and he promptly knocks down a 3.
He is already developing a nice chemistry with Evan Mobley, which is no doubt due to his history working alongside Bam Adebayo, one of the game's better passing bigs. The two are already on the same page, as Strus has found Mobley on a few cuts to the basket already.
To contend with as the season goes on. That's a great catch by Mobley as Strus set up the play.
He's also carried over his great work as a cutter from Miami, constantly moving around the court off of screens, going backdoor at times, trying to catch the defense sleeping. It's all working, and when Darius returns, look out.
Some on the floor earlier in this game. Strus to the basket. He crushes it home.
Oh, Max Strus throws one hammer down. I like it.
Just last season with the Heat, he finished ranked within the 96th percentile as a cutter, completing over 82.9% of his looks off of cuts to the basket. Now, he's not finishing around the basket as well to start the season, as evidenced by the fact that he's completing just 31.2% of his attempts inside 9 feet, but it's only a matter of time until these looks start to fall, in my opinion. Overall, I'm just loving what I'm seeing out of this guy, and it's only been 3 games. Time will tell as the season goes on, but for now, the Cavs got a bargain.